The Sheep and the Wise Tortoise. Story adapted from medium.com. Brought to you by the Reading Parrot. Once upon a time, in an animal kingdom, there was a particular forest filled with different types of wild animals. This particular hunter who always goes to the bush to hunt. Every day he goes to the bush. He sees a huge lion but cannot kill him despite several attempts. This hunter chased this lion for several days, yet his hunting remained unsuccessful. So he decided to set a trap for the lion using a lion cage. The hunter went and prepared the cage in his home and brought it to the bush where he usually meets the big lion. When the lion arrived at the cage, he got attracted by the small, alive animal that the hunter put inside the cage. Immediately entering the cage to devour the animal, the cage closed, and he got stuck inside. Luckily for him, the hunter fell sick after the day he set the trap. For more than 5 days, the hunter neither went hunting nor to check on his bait. So the lion remained in the cage for days and became very hungry. While the lion was inside the cage, some of the animals in the bush passed him but could not open the cage for him. The lion begged lots of the animals that walked past him to help him open the cage, but none of them agreed because they knew that the lion had been there for days and could eat them up if they allowed him to escape from the cage. One day, a sheep was passing to the place where the lion got trapped, and the lion shouted to the sheep, "Sheep, my friend, please come to my help. I've been in this cage for many days now, and I am so hungry. If you don't release me from this prison, I might die." The sheep pitied the lion, but then he was scared that the lion would consume him entirely if he let him out of the cage, since he was starving, having been there for days. So the sheep decided to reach an agreement with the lion. The sheep walked close to the lion and said, "It is clear to other animals and me that you are the strongest animal in our kingdom. If I release you from this cage, you might harm or consume me entirely because you are clearly starving. And that could possibly be the reason why other animals have refused to help you. They are all afraid of you. As your life is important to you, so is theirs for them. But if I must help you out, you must promise me that you will not eat me when you come out." The lion promised the sheep that he would not eat him. Instead, he would run far to hunt for other animals, especially those that failed to help him out. The lion persuaded the sheep to open the cage through his consistent pleading and crying. Finally, the sheep opened the cage for the lion since he had promised not to harm him. When the lion came out, he was already hungry due to his extended stay in the cage. Immediately he came out. He tried to eat the sheep that helped him by rushing up to him, but the sheep reminded him of his promise while he was still inside of the cage. The sheep was there trying to convince the lion not to eat him, but the hungry lion didn't want to listen to him. As the argument got heated up, some animals that heard their voices came out to understand why a sheep and a lion would be quarreling. When they all got there, the sheep narrated to them how he helped the lion out of the cage and now he wished to eat him. After the sheep told his own side of the story, the lion also narrated his own side of the story. All the animals that were present trying to settle the case were already afraid of the lion after they heard that he was in the cage for days. They decided to side with the lion because they knew that the lion would not spare any of them if they did otherwise. Among the animals that came to settle the case, only the tortoise refused to side with the lion and claimed he did not understand the whole story the two of them had told. The tortoise said, "Lion and sheep, I don't understand anything in what you guys have said. I'd really appreciate it if you demonstrated what happened exactly instead of just saying it with your mouth." The tortoise asked the lion the exact place he was before the sheep came to rescue him, and the lion pointed at the cage. He acted like he still did not understand and asked the lion again, Were you inside the cage or outside the cage when the sheep came to help you? The lion responded that he was inside. The tortoise said, Okay, no problem. Enter inside the cage. Let everyone see how difficult it can be inside there. The lion was foolish and never thought that he could be locked up for the second time, so he entered the cage again. Immediately he entered the cage, the tortoise locked up the cage. All the other animals were amazed at what the tortoise did, and they asked him, why did he do what he had done? The tortoise said to them, If we allow him to consume the sheep today, he'll undoubtedly go hungry tomorrow, and we don't know the next among us to be eaten tomorrow. So every one of us should be safe if he remains in the cage. All the animals there left the scene happily. The lion pleaded with the sheep again to help him out and promised the sheep that he would not eat him, but it was already too late for him. The sheep had already learnt his lesson from the first event. The following day, the hunter came to the bush and was happy to see that he finally got the lion and carried him with the cage to his house. Moral: always stick to your promises and stop supporting evils. You may not be affected today, but you don't know what happens tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my Reading Parrot channel for more interesting folk tales if you have enjoyed my reading. Thank you for your time.